Hey, this is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a map called Tanner's Gulch Derby. And I want to start this off with an aerial view of the map so you get an idea of what it's like really fast. So we start here, then we just follow the course going straight every time there's an intersection, and eventually you get back to where you started, and that's a lap. So let's go ahead and try to do that with the truck. And I'm not going to try to do it with that camera angle because you already saw me do that with my mouse cursor. Now you'll see what it actually looks like when you drive the truck. And the majority of what we're going to be doing on this map is actually going to be in the scenarios because there are a bunch of scenarios for this map. But I wanted to do one lap without any distractions just so you get a good idea of what this thing is like. Then we do the scenarios. So right there's one of the intersections, and as I said, you always go straight through the intersections. If you really wanted to, you can make your own custom kind of course where you say, no, I'm going to go through the intersections and turn right and go left here and have all kind of nonsense like that. But the way all the scenarios are set up, you're gonna go straight through them, which just makes it a little bit easier. Although I think it would be funny if you had it set up where you were going against traffic as you were racing. I mean, you're basically driving on a figure eight where you're gonna crash anyways. Why not? So that right there was a complete lap of the course. It only took about 45 seconds or so. So it's not that long of a course, but a lot of the scenarios, well, I think all the scenarios actually have 8 laps to them. So we're not going to complete any of them because that'll just take a long time to do all 10 of these to completion. So we're just going to go through the list starting with Saturday Cup Race 1. And the cars are extremely loud. That's why the game volume is so low. So as I said, this is Sunday Cup Race 1. Early morning Heat 1 race, 8 rally hatches at Tanner's Gulch. And to give you an idea of how loud these cars are, listen to the engines compared to the countdown right here. So you could barely hear the countdown there because the engines are just overwhelming. 8 angry Corvettes. Turns out, yeah, that's gonna blow your eardrums out. I actually turned my personal volume down just to do these scenarios because of how loud they can get, especially with the 8 Corvettes. When you have 8 normal cars, though, it's not as loud. So we're not gonna race this to completion, though, because if I did 8 laps, 10 times, 45 seconds a lap, that would take like a whole hour to do all of this, I think, if my math real quickly is correct. So we're gonna race fast and do as much as we can before we have a intentional collision at the intersection. So I got to get a little bit of a lead on them. See right here, not quite enough of a lead, but I think I'll have enough on the next intersection to do a crash right there. And then we're going to move on to the next scenario. And I don't know if I'll do all of them or not. I might skip around here and there, or I might do them all. It depends how long it takes for those crashes to happen. If I can get them to happen on the second lap, we'll probably do all of them because it's not taking too long. And there are the cars. Come on, crash into me. Oh, I actually got through there cleanly, accidentally. I might want to slow down a little bit on this next section here to get the crash to time up properly. So we're just going to cruise along a little bit right here, taking it slow. I mean, this whole time I'm taking it pretty slow because I don't need to go fast because the AI isn't that competent. They're great at making a train of cars, though. Wow, they're really far behind. Let me back up for a second and pretend I was like actually racing here. I'm racing through. And there's a crash. I just wanted to have a pileup. Oh my goodness. The audio of the cars all being angry and buzzing by. It's so bad. Alright, that's it for this one because my car has been immobilized. So we'll go to the next scenario this time and maybe we'll start skipping around after that. Next one, which is all crazy ordered here, number 2 is actually located there. Mixed class race for this round. And you'll notice when I hit start, you could actually hear the countdown a little bit. It's not totally overwhelmed by the sound of the engines. That's not to say the engines are quiet because they're still pretty loud as you can hear, but they're a little bit less loud than the swarm of Corvettes. Now, one thing I didn't mention that you probably noticed is every vehicle you're going to be driving is like a super stripped down version. So we're missing every body panel you can think of. We're missing the lights, we're missing the glass. And by lights, I mean tail lights and front lights. To be honest, I'm surprised the wheels we have are so nice. Like, I would expect steelies on this thing, but those look like legit wheels. Oh, and the top brake light is still there, actually. I guess you can't remove that part on the D series. Didn't think about that until just now. You know, one thing I'm actually surprised about is that there is no single seat version of the D series. All of them have the bench seat. And woo, there's some traffic, but I can't really steer into them. They got lucky this time. That lap was actually a little bit slower than the laps I did with the Corvette. I'm not sure if that was because I got distracted by the traffic or if this thing is just doing a little bit worse than the Corvette was. I think Corvette might have been a little bit more suited for this environment. I see a little bit of traffic going, but I think I gotta go a little bit faster still to actually get hit. See, here I'm not going significantly faster than the competition. There's more variety in the cars, so ooh, there's just a pile of cars. The H series is like, I'm pulling your corpses along whether you like it or not. That's hilarious. I haven't gotten my intersection crash yet. So like, I'm just a little too slow for him. There's one! Gotcha! And that totally messed me up, but it was worth it. Can I keep driving after hitting that Ibishu? Looks like I can. And we're still in first place, so the AI is quite a ways back. Actually, well, not that far back. They're right behind me now. There's only about maybe 15 seconds behind me in total. Steer it harder, truck. You suck at this. I mean, I would say it's because of the damage, but it's kind of sucked this whole time. And the Ibishu recovered faster than I did. Sometimes the AI is impressive. And there's that H series just pushing everything. That guy is a maniac. Oh no. Okay, it's just him and the Corvette are stuck together now. The other car he is pushing actually got free, and I think that's the car in front of us. I can't quite tell what it is because of the smoke screen. And ooh, they just had a collision. Can I join the party? What's up, guys? Nope, I could not. I couldn't steer in. So instead, I'm going to go the wrong way on the course because I just want to have a collision. And I was going to crash into them, but I just could not get the angle right for it to be a fast and hard collision. I'm pretty sure I'll get it after I go around this corner, though. No idea what car it'll actually be because everybody was crashing into each other last I saw. There we go. It is the Sunburst? I haven't seen them like this whole race. Were they the car that was directly behind me for a second, maybe? Because I wasn't paying that close of attention there. Alright, so that's enough crashing right there. Let's go ahead, swap out to the next scenario, which is number 3. Third round of the Sunday Cup in mid and lightweight class. And on this one, we have a Hirochi Sunburst, which once again has the rear brake light. So I'm assuming you cannot remove it there. And we have all of these little Ibishus in my way. Out of the way, Ibishus. Everybody know Hirochi is better, just like Honda is better than Toyota. Do I mean that? No. I just had to say something totally random like that because I know people out there be like, what? How could you say they're better? I'm going to argue with you, WhyBeAre. You know, both companies have their advantages and disadvantages. Just depends what you prefer in your vehicle. BeamNG.drive, though, I really do think Hirochi is better than Ibishu because the Sunburst is a pretty awesome vehicle and Ibishu doesn't really have anything nearly as awesome as the Sunburst. So yeah, Hirochi is superior. Are we going to crash into anybody on that intersection? Maybe? No, not quite. We'll have to wait for the next intersection. And this car is bouncing hard. I'm surprised they didn't get any suspension damage right there. Got to really dive into this corner a bit because this thing is not steering for me. There we go. For a second there, I was really concerned about that understeer. No collision! We are safe again! Not safe for myself, though. Flying all over the place, almost wrecking it. Well, there's a single car spin out that could have easily hit me if he didn't spin out. Wow. How was I going so fast right there? I am just all over the place right here. I'm waiting for the crash. I'm not even caring about how I'm driving. That's the problem. But ain't nobody here to crash into me. Where are you guys at, man? This is no fun with no crashes. Y'all are supposed to be crashing into me right now. If we get to lap 4 without a crash, we're just going to call it quits. And say that's an automatic victory for WhyBeAre for simply outclassing the competition. Somebody to the left. Come on. Nobody. Whoops. Well, there's a crash. Not at all the way I expected that to go down. Let's just go ahead and go to the next one then because there's no fixing that in scenario mode. So the next one is number 4. Heavyweights race in reverse for the 4th round. Go get 'em. And you'll notice the competition is way different here. We even have a T-Series in the mix. Now, I wish I was the T series, but unfortunately I am an H series, which actually feels like it's at a bit of a disadvantage compared to the Roamer and the D series. Just driving around this, I feel like I have to drive a lot harder than when everybody had the same car. Like, you really have to go around the corners tight like I did right there, and you don't want to swerve out too much, because if you do that, the AI will just crash into you because they are super careless and reckless, and they'll do dumb things like that. Except for the T series. He seems to be like the gentle giant in the mix, and he doesn't actually want to hit anybody. Presumably because his vehicle is a lot more valuable than the competition's. At least that's the best excuse I could come up with, because if you have a car that weighs that much more than the competition, why would you not just barrel through them and destroy them? And this is actually probably also the hardest one to control. You saw me right there sliding out a little bit. I recovered luckily, but it was really, really sloppy. I'm actually already in the middle of the field on these intersections, so expect a collision soon, or expect my impatience to grow high very, very soon. We'll see which one happens, actually. So again, hugging the inside of this corner, and there's a little bit of a gap between us because I've been driving nice and efficiently. But you'll notice we're still not in a good position to get T-boned or to T-bone somebody yet, so we'll keep going for a little bit longer. I'm thinking by lap 3 we should have the collision. Well, on lap 3, I mean. Otherwise, I would have to have it right here, which is obviously not going to happen. Actually, with the heavyweights, though, you're going so slow, the collision's going to be a bit of a disappointment, won't it? Like, we're going to be going like 30 miles per hour. It's just going to be like, boop, there's the collision. We're barely damaged. We can both keep driving. Unless I find the T-Series, but I haven't seen him one bit. Like, I have legitimately no idea where the T-Series is. There he is. He's just super duper slow. I can't believe how slow he is. Like, I'm lapping him, and it's just barely the start of the 3rd lap. You suck at driving, T-Series, but I'm afraid to try to pass you because, oh my goodness, you just deflect me. Like, I try to go near you, you say, nuh-uh, I'm bouncing you. Hit that guy? Oh, so close. To be honest, I'm surprised the T-Series didn't hit anybody already. Alright, so it's going to be on this intersection or we quit. Right here after the corner, we're going to crash. I'm calling it now. Everything feels like it's perfectly lined up for the collision. If I could keep my car in line and not spin out and lose a lot of speed through here. Stop sliding, you stupid pain in the butt. Collide! Oh my goodness, it's so slow! You are a pile of junk! Get into the wall! Like, see, it was barely any damage anyways because it's so slow! That thing needs a bigger engine in it to make that interesting to see the crashes on. So next up, we're going to skip around a little bit and go to race number 7. Muscle Cars race for the 7th round. And the reason I'm skipping around a little bit is just to give you a good variety of vehicles, because some of them have a pretty similar composition of vehicles to others, and I'm just going to skip over those ones because it'd basically be the exact same thing you saw before. Now, there are actually Burnside specials in the mix here. I'm not exactly sure if I would consider that a muscle car because, as far as I remember, every version of that is pretty pedestrian for the time period. There's no actual muscle version of it, but whatever. If you want to throw it in the mix just because some dude showed up in his Burnside and said, no, really, guys, it's a muscle car, then, you know, fine. Just let it happen. I don't care. Now, this one, the AI is ridiculously slow, so I might even be able to get a collision on this intersection right here after I go around this corner if I do it nice and efficiently. Because you can go fast here, and the AI is scared to do that. Although with me trying to go fast, there's a high likelihood I spin it out, so I gotta be a little careful there. They're not quite clean enough to get the collision, but you saw I was gaining on them fast. Stop bouncing so much. You're making me scared. You're making me think you're gonna flip over or something. So if whoa, don't spin out here. Like, every time I go around a corner, I think I'm getting with this thing. But if I don't, we should be able to actually get a collision for sure. So we go flooring it and just get to that intersection. Well, we could have had the collision if the field matched up. Unfortunately, they decided to have a little bit of a gap where I was coming through, which always seems to be the case, doesn't it? Like, it never seems to line up right where you're coming in and they're coming in at the exact same time for that perfect figure 8 style crash. It's just always like, not quite. Let's see. If we don't get it here, I'm going to rage quit and go to the next scenario. Where is everybody? They're just gone. Like, that wasn't even close, though. I figured oh, wait. Yes. Gotcha. That's all I wanted to do. I got a hit. It wasn't a good hit, but the way things are going, I'll take any hit I can get. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to the last scenario we're going to be doing, which is scenario 10, which is up here right after scenario 1. And I just wanted to finish on the last one in the list. There's nothing significantly different about this one than the one we were just doing, aside from the fact that it's going in the opposite direction. So instead of going right, we go left. And that can be very confusing for NASCAR drivers in some situations, but luckily I'm not a NASCAR driver, so I'm able to go around these corners very, very easily, regardless of what direction they are. Although I am still sliding all over the place. Very, very inefficient driving. Here we go, a little bit more efficient right here. Getting a nice amount of speed maintained. That's what you want to do. Oh, that corner is a little bit easier because it's not as tight as this one. This one's tighter. So you want to slide it more, but then if you slide too much, you'll end up sliding and spinning out. Trying not to do that right there. Perfect. Whoop. I say perfect, and I start to see my rear end start to kick. It's like, nah, I said perfect. You go straighten out for me. So, wait, where did everybody go? Like, where did everybody go? What? Hold up. Where is everybody? They're just that far behind? Wow. Like, I knew I did that one corner good, but not that good. That was crazy. Okay, let me give you an idea of how slow they actually go. I'm just gonna follow behind that guy. We're gonna go like 40 miles per hour through the corners probably here. I mean, the one thing I could say is they have a lot of control over their car, it seems like, until they spin out. Like, they're not sliding it a ton, but they still find a way to spin out. So I actually overtook them at about 35 miles per hour right there. So they're going probably 25 at their worst in the corners. I could just put some distance between us if I wanted to, or I could slide and have fun. And ooh, dust pile. Oh, look at that. I ripped off the only body panel I possibly could. Bye-bye front fender. I don't think every vehicle actually had the front fender. I think the D series, for example, didn't have one. Just some of them do. Kind of interesting. Anyways, I think that will do it for this video. Till next time, this has been WhyBeAre. I'll see ya.